Have you ever stopped to think about what's really going on behind the scenes of your favorite TV show or the nightly news? You probably picture this room just packed with complex, mysterious machines. And you know what? You'd be right. Well, kinda. Because that room, the broadcast studio, has gone through this secret, radical transformation. It's been completely reshaped by a world you might know very, very well, the world of IT. Okay, let's get into it. So for decades, this was the nerve center of all broadcasting. It was a totally physical world, a universe of specialized, single-purpose hardware. I mean, every single button, every knob, every piece of gear was designed to do one specific thing. And connecting it all? A literal maze of thick, heavy coaxial cables. Every single video and audio signal needed its own dedicated wire. And this, well, believe it or not, this is also a broadcast studio. Kind of looks less like a TV control room and more like an IT data center, doesn't it? You've got standard server racks, network switches, fiber optic cables. So the big question is, how on earth did we get from that room of custom-built boxes to this rack of off-the-shelf computer gear? Well, that's the revolution we're going to break down today. To really get this shift, we have to start back in the old world. You have to picture a kingdom built on copper, a whole domain ruled by specialized hardware and the brilliant engineers who knew how to wire it all together. For years and years, the absolute gold standard was something called SDI, or Serial Digital Interface. Now, the key thing to understand here is that it was a one-to-one relationship. If you had 10 cameras and 10 monitors, you needed 10 physical cables running between them. Seriously. Think of it like having a dedicated private phone line for every single conversation happening in the entire building. It was super reliable for sure, but incredibly rigid and unbelievably expensive to scale up. Now, what I love about this is how it really shows the human side of this massive change. This quote right here says it all. The job isn't just about fixing specific broadcast boxes anymore. Nope, it's about being a network architect, a data manager, a cybersecurity expert. The exact same skills that power IT departments are now what power television. And that right there brings us to the central theme of this whole story, what we call the Great Convergence. This is that exact moment when two powerful, completely separate industries, broadcast engineering and information technology, just collided and merged into one. And it changed absolutely everything. So why did this big convergence even need to happen? Well, this comparison here lays out the why perfectly. The old traditional model was fixed. You bought a router with, say, 256 inputs, and that was it. That's all you had. Scaling up was a huge, expensive hardware project. But the new IT-based model? Oh, it's dynamic. It scales whenever you need it to. And the best part? It runs on the same kind of standard, off-the-shelf IT gear that powers countless other industries. It's all about economies of scale. This entire revolution, all of it, hinges on this one profound idea. Instead of thinking of a video signal as some unique electronic wave traveling down a special copper cable, what if we just thought of it as data? Just a bunch of ones and zeros, the same as an email, a web page, or a file on your computer. Once you make that mental leap, you can send it over a standard computer network. Game over. Okay, so if video and audio are just data now, how do they actually get from point A to point B? This is where we get into the really cool tech that makes the whole modern studio possible. The real game changer is a standard called SNMP ST2010. Now here's a great way to think about it. Imagine a car. The old SDI way was like shipping the entire, fully assembled car in one giant single crate. ST2010, on the other hand, is like taking the car completely apart, the chassis, the engine, the stereo system, the GPS data, and shipping each part in its own separate box. This gives you an absolutely incredible amount of flexibility. And here's how it all works, broken down into 4 key steps. First, the signal gets deconstructed into those separate parts, or essences, your video, your audio, and your data. Second, each one of those essences gets wrapped up in standard IP packets. Third, they all travel independently across the network. So for example, you don't need the Spanish audio track for the broadcast in Germany? Cool, just don't route it. And fourth, this is the magic part. A protocol called PTP, or Precision Time Protocol, makes sure every single packet can be put back together perfectly in sync down to the nanosecond. It's amazing. But you know, SD2110 isn't the only player in the game. It's the heavyweight champion for sure for that uncompressed, highest quality studio work. And it needs about 1.5 gigabits per second for just one HD stream. But for jobs where that's just overkill, you've got protocols like NDI, which uses some really clever compression, so it can work on standard 1 gigabit networks. And for sending video over the messy public internet, you've got SRT, which is just brilliant at handling dropped packets and keeping things reliable on networks you can't control. There's really a tool for every single job.
So when you put all these technologies together, the IP transport, the standard network hardware, and this whole data-centric way of thinking, the result is, well, it's inevitable, really. The broadcast studio basically becomes a high-performance data center.
And what's one of the first things you do in a data center? You virtualize everything. Instead of having one dedicated machine for your video server and a totally different one for your graphics engine, you can just run them as virtual machines on a single powerful host server. Now, this is a concept every single IT pro out there knows like the back of their hand. It means you use your hardware way better, you can deploy new things faster, and your flexibility is just off the charts. Of course, all this video data, it has to live somewhere. The media files for an entire broadcast operation now sit on these high-performance shared storage systems like a NAS or a SAN. And let me tell you, the performance requirements are just staggering. A single stream of 4K video for an editor needs a constant throughput of over 400 megabytes per second. Now imagine a dozen editors all working at the same time. This is storage at a true enterprise scale. But here's the crucial flip side of all this progress. The second you put your entire broadcast operation onto a network, you make it a target. All the cybersecurity threats that IT departments fight every single day, we're talking ransomware, denial of service attacks, data breaches, all of them are now a direct threat to what actually goes out on the air. So protecting the broadcast is now a core cybersecurity mission. And all of this leads to one final really critical point. The technology is one thing, but this revolution has also created a completely new kind of professional, the hybrid engineer. I mean, just look at this toolkit. It's the perfect blend of two different worlds. Yes, you absolutely still need to understand traditional concepts like signal flow and RF, but look at the rest of this list. TCP/IP networking, virtualization, cybersecurity, cloud architecture, storage administration, these are the core skills of an IT systems administrator. In today's broadcast world, IT skills aren't just kinda helpful, they are absolutely essential, period. So we've gone on this incredible journey from physical wires to data packets, from custom hardware to virtual machines. The next logical step, of course, is the cloud. As more and more broadcast functions, everything from playing out a channel to live production, move into the cloud, it leaves us with this one fascinating final question to think about. Will the very idea of a physical studio just disappear, replaced by a virtual one that exists everywhere and nowhere all at the same time?